Good afternoon, my friend. How you doing? Doing okay? Well, it's very nice to meet you. My name is Connor, and I am here to help you and your mama understand a little bit more about what's going to happen today at the hospital. Is that okay? Okay, perfect. So today you're in the hospital because you came in and you were telling us that right in here you weren't feeling very much, and when you were, it was feeling real tingly. Okay, now we want to fix that. We want to make you feel a little better, but in order to do that, we have to run a couple tests. All right, those tests are going to be what's called a nerve conduction study, as well as an electromyogram, or what's easier to remember is EMG. Okay, it's an EMG test. Now, inside, do you know what a nerve is? No? Okay, well, no problem. I'll help explain, all right? Inside of our body, there are billions and billions and billions of these things called nerves. And they're so tiny that not even our eyes can see them, all right? But we have them all over our skin and in our muscles and leading up into our brain, all over. Now, those nerves, they talk to each other. Okay, and when they talk to each other, they help to tell us when we're feeling things. And when they talk to our muscles, they tell us when we need to move. And when they talk to our brain, it helps our brain to understand exactly what's going on with our body whenever it's happening. Okay, so in order to know what's going on and why your nerves might not be communicating very well, they might not be talking very well to each other, we have to do what's called a nerve conduction study. Okay, so in order to do that, we will have these little tiny tools. All right, they're going to look like this. And there will actually be 3 of them. I only have 2 right now, but there will be 3 of them that go on your hand, all right? And when we start, this blue part will be pulled off and it will reveal a sticky pad. It'll be real sticky. And we'll put it right on your hand, another part of your hand, and the third one will go on your wrist, okay? All these guys do is they help us to understand what your nerves are saying to each other and how fast they're saying it. All right? So we're going to put these onto your skin, and then we're going to take something that looks a little bit like this. Okay? Now, it's not going to look exactly like this. It's going to be made out of plastic here. And then these 2 tips are going to be made out of metal. They're not going to be pokey. They're just going to be a little cold, and they're going to be made out of metal. All right, what this does is it sends an electric shock, really tiny and super not painful, okay? It's gonna send an electric shock into your arm. Now, what a lot of people say is that it feels like if you rubbed your feet on the carpet and touched a doorknob, that's the kind of feeling you usually get when you're doing this test. This doesn't really hurt, it just feels more like static electricity, all right? So after that's done, and we've recorded all the things we need to know about how your nerves are talking to each other, we're going to have to do what's called an electromyogram, or the EMG that I was saying earlier. Now, the EMG is a little bit tougher because it involves a needle prick, and your mama's let me know that you're not a big fan of needles, which is totally okay, because not a lot of adults are fans of needles either. All right, but that's why I'm here to help you. Okay, so first off, this needle is going to be very tiny. All right, it's not going to be a big one, and it's going to go right into your arm right up here in the muscle. All right, and on the end of that, it's going to have a wire as well, and that wire is going to lead into a machine. All right, when we stick the needle into your muscle, it's going to read the electrical impulses from your nerves inside your muscles, and it's going to tell us what's going on there when you need to move them. Okay? Now, needles can be very scary, so I'm here to help distract you from that needle, because I know you don't like looking at it. I've been told that before, all right? So you've got a couple options for you, okay? In order to distract you from the needle, I've got 2 things that could help. I was wondering which one you'd like to choose. First option is we've got some bubbles, and we can blow some bubbles, and we can use it to help us slow our breathing down and get really calm. Okay? Or another option is we can have an iPad brought in and we can play some apps on the iPad that might distract you from what's going on. All right? And make things a little easier. Now, remember, when you're inside the hospital room, your mama's gonna be there with you, okay? And so am I. I'll be there with you too. So you won't ever be alone and you don't have to be scared, okay? Now, before we start, which one would you like to do? Would you like to play with the bubbles or would you like to play with the iPad? The bubbles? Okay, perfect. We'll bring the bubbles in and I'll bring the iPad just in case the bubbles don't work, okay? Just in case you change your mind and decide to do something else. The lucky thing about this for us is we don't really have to prepare you all that much. As long as you don't have any oil on your skin or any moisturizer or anything, we can just stick these pads to you and get started as soon as you feel relaxed enough to try, all right? So here we go. Do you have any questions for me? No? All right, perfect. Well, just know that you're going to do amazing and I'm going to be here with you the whole way through, okay? All right, let's do this.